I'm Samantha Bennett and I'm doing my live theater presentation. I apologize for my face, it's super sunburned from this past weekend. So the play that I went to, or the theater production I went to, is called the Broadway Jukebox, a musical cabinet event. Basically, it was not like a normal theater production. It wasn't a play. It was five um, actors were on stage, and what was very different about this play was the audience chose the music that was going to play during the production. So there were four categories. There was Lost, Help, um, Happy, and Discovery. And we were allowed to choose from different categories on what type of music we would like play. So there was the diva category with songs like All That Jazz, Don't Rain on My Parade, On My Own, and so on. Contemporary, the I Love You Love song, I'd Rather Be Sailing, I'll Cover for You. The Golden Age, Sit Down, You're Rocking the Boat, I Can Cook Too, On the Street Where You Live. Another one was Disney, so there was Let It Go, A Whole New World, Part of Your World. And then finally there was Solemn um, for songs like Being Alive, Unworthy of Your Love, Worst Pies in London. So basically, you walked in, there was a punch card, you chose the songs that you wanted the actors and actresses to play, and they knew every single song by heart. They knew the choreographic to every single song. They had no idea what we were going to choose as an audience. Um, so here is a quick picture of it's a really bad picture, but this is what it looked like on stage. There were only 5 pillars that lit up. That was it. That was all the props that they had. It was just dance. There was no props like canes or anything like that. And not only did the actors and actresses not know what was going to be played, but the musicians that were playing the live music had no idea what was going to be played either. So the musicians sat behind those lit up pillars, so you couldn't really see them. But if the pillars lit up super bright, you could see them a little bit. And they basically an audience member would walk up and show, okay, um, for Lost, these were the 4 or 5 songs that they were going to play. So all the actors and actresses read which songs we chose and then handed it off to the musicians so that they knew exactly what they were going to play. And it was something that was totally different. Like, this was the only thing available to me during these 5 weeks that was a theater production. I'm in Ocean City for the summer, so I'm not super close to the Kennedy Center or anything like that. But I really, really enjoyed this because it wasn't just a normal play that everyone sees. This was a one of a kind. No one's ever going to see the exact same play again. In fact, they're done. That was their last performance of the jukebox. So I guess some information on this was the director was Kyler Tustin, the musical director was Alan Rohde, the choreographer was Tyler Cantanella, and the producer was Alex Lantani. Um, in my opinion, they did a fantastic job of um, bringing everything together. The music was fantastic. Like, if an actor or actress kind of tripped up on what was going on, the musicians, did a fantastic job kind of covering for them, giving them an extra second to figure out what they were doing, because these were all amateurs. Like, they were not high school, they were not college, they were definitely older, but they were amateurs. They were not, Broadway musical people. This is something that they do for fun. This is not their only means of a lifestyle. What I found interesting was Brown Box, which is the company that put on this show, has a little paragraph that they like to share with people, and I thought I'd read it to you. We at Brown Box believe that all people deserve easy access to the arts and the community benefits as they foster. Brown Box theater production mission is to break down the barriers that separate the masses from live theater production by bringing the very best in performances, design, and collaboration to unconventional venues and underserved destinations to reach the wildest audiences possible. Brown Box Theater Production creates high quality theater and delivers our work directly to communities to expand the reach of impactful professional performing arts. We implement a bold approach to our productions that connects the audiences and artists through vibrant and enlightening experiences to transform the way theater is created and consumed, which I think they lived up to every bit of that expectation. So, this production was a musical. There's no question it was a musical, but there wasn't exactly a storyline to go along with it. It was just these actors and actresses were put on the spot to sing these songs that they had no idea which ones they were going to be singing. The point of this production was to, in my opinion, try something totally different. The point of the production was to show off these actors and actresses' voices, and their dance moves and their choreography was amazing. I truly think that this did exactly what Brown Box intended, of just being totally different, something that is going to appeal to anyone. This could appeal to a 5-year-old because they had songs like Let It Go for Disney, and most people know that song in this day and age from Frozen. And it also appealed to the elderly community by having songs that were from the 1950s and 60s. I think this was achieved by bringing a very diverse section of songs, group of songs together, like I said. Frozen songs, Disney songs from the Golden Age songs, like, it was certainly achieved because there were songs I didn't know, and then a lot of songs that I did know. Like, there was just some Broadway musical stuff, like I didn't know any of the very specific Broadway songs. A critical analysis. The only thing I could say is before the production started, they were not very careful in making sure that everyone voted for their songs that they wanted to hear. I actually had to end up going after the play was done to see how it all worked and how everyone voted, because I didn't get to vote. I showed up 30 minutes early, and it wasn't very clear where we were supposed to go to be able to vote for the songs that we wanted to hear. But and then the only other thing was, there was one performer that didn't get a lot. He didn't have a lot to do. There were several times where he was just kind of standing off to the side because it wasn't his song, or it wasn't a song he was a part of. And it was kind of upsetting because I feel like he didn't really get to shine. He had a beautiful voice, was a great dancer, but he didn't really get a chance to show off because he was only in, I think there was 20 songs total, and he was only in 4 of them, when one of the actresses was in at least 15 of them. She was able to show off, and yes, she was a great performer, but I thought this other guy that was kind of standing off to the side, I thought he was the best of them all, but he didn't get a lot of time to shine. But that's also because we chose the songs, so it can happen because we just chose songs that he wasn't really a part of. Some details about the production, the design. Everyone wore black. The girls wore, there's 3 girls and 2 boys. All the girls wore black, shimmery black clothing. So a heavier set girl wore a dress. A very fit girl wore a top that was very shimmery, and underneath she had pants, but she had a skirt that could go over top of it too. And then a very thin girl wore almost like a shimmery jumpsuit looking thing. The males wore one of them wore a tuxedo, and the other one wore a tuxedo with tails attached to it. It just made it seem very classy, very, I don't know how they weren't burning up on stage, because they were dancing all over the place, and I can only imagine how hot they were. The acting, they did a great job improvising with in between times, in between the songs, when we were waiting to hear what was going to come up next. Um, they did a really good job just being very enthusiastic about everything. They weren't exactly telling a story because of the nature of this production, but the acting, the faces that they put on were very friendly, very engaging. Um, like, for example, one time during the pastime, a little kid was screaming and yelling, and they addressed it just as in, like, they asked for the kid to come up to the stage so that they could see him. I think they did a fantastic job with that. The directing choices, I think the director, Kyler Tustin, did a great job. Just he nailed the types of songs that should be an option for us to choose. He did a great job working together with the musical director and the choreographer to make sure that all the dance moves and the jumping up and down and everything went really, really well with the music. He just did a great job bringing everything together, in my opinion. Um, the director was obviously, he came out, he took a bow at the very end. He just said a few words about the Brown Box Theater Group, saying that he loves working for them and that he truly thinks that they are doing good for the community by bringing theater to everyone. Um, what did the artist make the choices? Why did the artist make the choices that they did? Um, all the artists made perfect choices as far as their character was. They all had very good outfits. Not that they really had a lot of control over that, but they did a great job with making their outfits flow with the dancing that they had to do. Um, they did a fantastic job lowering their voices when they needed to, raising their voices when they needed to in songs. I found that they were very successful in what they were doing. It just flowed. They made it flow so smoothly. There was a lot of like awkward times in this while we were waiting to hear which song was going to play next, and they just did a great job making it not an awkward situation, which I thought was really, really good of them. Um, as far as I wanted to share the actors and actresses' names. Rachel Bellman was one of the females. Michelle Marilani, she was one of the females, and Lisa Joyce. They did a great job. Jake, I'm not sure how to say his last name, Corviano. He was fantastic. He hit some incredible high notes that I couldn't even hit. And then Xavier Alexander Durden, he was the one actor that I found should have been used a little bit more, but again, nature of the play, he didn't have a lot of that. They didn't know what was going to be chosen for the song, so it's just unfortunate for him. But he did a fantastic job. And yeah, I think I really appreciated what they did because they were put on the spot. It was unlike anything I had ever seen before, and I think this should be something that's a little bit more like this should be brought to Broadway. Something like this where the audience gets to choose what's going to happen that night so that no one production is exactly the same. I think that shows an incredible talent for these actors and actresses. So hopefully that was enough information. I don't have a lot of visuals to show you, just that one visual of the theater. I'll show it to you one more time. Those were the pillars. The pillars lit up with the music, so if it was a sad song, they got dark. If it was a really bright song, they were really bright. They were the colors of the rainbow, so if it was something cheery and happy, it was yellow, or if it was kind of dark and mysterious, they turned purple. If it was kind of an angry song, they turned red. It kind of went with the emotion of what was going on. And again, I think they did a fantastic job making those pillars light up when they should have with the emotion that was on stage. So yeah, I would strongly suggest to anyone, if you ever see a Brown Box Theater production, if you ever see a Brown Box production come your way, I would definitely suggest looking at it because I think they did a fantastic job. They have normal plays where it's a storyline and everything, and I would very much be interested in going and seeing an actual play instead of a musical like that or a Broadway jukebox. So